Well, I don't know where our intro song is today. Someone set up this stream all wrong. And I'm sorry, guys, but you don't get to hear the Bold Libs song today. Some people are clapping and cheering. It's out there if you want to hear it. What's up, guys? Welcome to Bold Voices. I'm Angela Belcamino. So excited to have you here today. Thank you for tuning in. Please have some fun with us. We have a really fun panel as per usual tonight. It is jam-packed. There is 5 of us today, 5 of us. So please have fun with us. Stay tuned. Share the stream, repost. That would be amazing. If you want to like it, we would love it. If you would like to go ahead and subscribe over on YouTube, would be much appreciated. We're going to be talking about some current events and what's going on. I mean, there's a lot. There is no shortage of things to talk about and things going on. So hopefully you will join in the conversation. We love to interact with you in the chat. So please put your thoughts, comments, bold questions. We'll bring them up on the screen. And yeah, let's get it going. We're talking quite a bit about Mamdani today because, you know, I recently moved from New York City. Kevin's representing New York City, and there's just a lot going on around that. So we're going to talk quite a bit about that. Want to hear your thoughts. But yeah, incredible panel of guests here today. Thank you guys so much for being here. We have Jay, we have Madeline Elizabeth, we have Kevin Smith, and for the first time, we have Lindsay at Something Fierce. Lindsay is a business owner in North Carolina. I think you're repping it with your hat right now. Coastal Coffee Company. Thanks for joining, Lindsay. You're in North Carolina, right? Do you happen to know Cassie Clark? We just had her on last week.
I'm not familiar. I'm actually on the coast, just a little bit north of Wilmington, North Carolina. So we're right on the water here.
Nice. Yeah, Cassie Clark has a whole brand around North Carolina. She's a podcaster, blogger who really like shows appreciation and is trying to keep the culture and traditions alive. So you two would, I know, and Jay knows both of you. He introduced me to both of you.
Yeah, Cassie's she's the so-called queen of North Carolina. So she goes around and she's like big on preserving North Carolina culture and like not like because I guess there's a lot of like implants or what, like a lot of people move to North Carolina and stuff like that. Yep. And so preserving their culture and stuff like that. That's what her whole website was about. Then she got, you know, thrown into the political thing for the Charlie Kirk, wearing a Charlie Kirk shirt. She was accosted at a restaurant and then she, you know, got her Elon reposts and stuff like that. But fantastic person. You should check her out.
Yeah, I'm looking at her. So she's got about 60,000 on X. That's awesome. She's so right though. I mean, it's probably like one of the #1 destinations people are moving to is North Carolina, and the Raleigh, Durham, Wake Forest area is one of the highest like locations that everyone is going to. And they said it's supposed to be a huge metro area within the next 10 years. I mean, it's insane the amount of people are transplanting here. My whole neighborhood is nothing but. I rarely find people from Wilmington, actually. There's not very many anymore.
Well, you two should definitely connect. Tell us about your coffee company. How long have you been doing that? How's your journey been? I love me some coffee, so I'll have to try it.
Yeah, for sure. So I actually, I was born and raised in Washington State, and Seattle is the coffee capital of the U.S. So the coffee culture up there is quite unique. Definitely great experience. And so I've had coffee incorporated in my life since I was young. And so owning coffee shops and coffee huts, it's just a huge business in Washington. Some of the best coffee I've ever tasted originates over there. And there's a lot of good roasters. So I actually have always had this love and passion for coffee. I feel like it's that one thing that everyone kind of unites around. It's interesting because someone put it in this perspective. It's like, taking that first sip, like that's a whole experience. And so for me, like I fall in love with the process of coffee. I love everything about the harvesting, just brewing a cup, the different methods. And so throughout my adulthood, I've always, every time I go and travel anywhere, that's the first thing I like to do. I like to try the local coffee, like to experience their culture, because everywhere is really unique. And even Wilmington is growing in coffee culture. Like there's a lot of people opening up shops here as well. So I've actually just traveled around. I've always had this love and passion for it. And so when I moved down to Wilmington in 2017, I saw the coffee culture, and it was so different from what I'm used to and what I've seen. And so part of my passion was like, I want to bring that kind of culture that I was raised into the, East Coast. We have these unique concepts back west that are like double drive-throughs. So I've always wanted to open a shop. I ran them when I was a young kid, when I was 18. And so I knew a lot about the coffee process. So when I moved out here, I wanted to look into competing within the local market, but for me, my dreams are way too big to scale on a local level. Like I want to build that coffee empire. And so when I, started looking at what I could do and what I could name my coffee brand, I was really trying to gear it up to something. My original name was Espresso because I wanted the double drive-through like express. So it was like a little play on words. But then I was like, coffee culture on the coast. There's just nothing like it. It's a good vibe. And so I came up with Coastal Coffee Company back in 2022. And so looking back, where my first steps and processes went, I did a lot of online education courses to understand more about coffee culture and, what it looks like and where it comes from. So, when I opened up my coffee brand, I wanted to take like the first step without having to fully indulge. And so I did the e-commerce platform. And so by doing that, I was able to further educate myself, but, just also learn the business. And so from there, I've grown the business into all the, different social media platforms. And the goal is to franchise and go big. And so we actually moved into private labeling this year. So we actually private label for a lot of private corporations and companies, where we are giving people their own branding on their own bag of coffee. And so it's such a cool experience.
Cool.
The united front, I feel like, when it comes to coffee, and just everyone enjoys it. You're either kind of a coffee or a tea person. And so actually, obviously, I got to offer the both, but it's been a fun ride. Like I'm very excited where it's taking me, and there's so much more to learn. Like I'm very teachable. So I want to adapt and learn different perspectives. I want to go to Costa Rica. I want to see the harvesting of coffee. Like that whole journey in itself is so awesome to even to experience something like that. And I have obviously I'm biased because I own coffee company, but I think it's just a cool experience, and taking that first sip and what that feels like for everybody. And it's just a passion of love, and it's a united one because it looks so different everywhere else. But when you look at it as a whole, it's just the passion and love for coffee. So everywhere I've traveled, I just love to experience it. And I love to experience the local stuff, because it's very unique. A lot of roasters, they really love the passion and the science behind the roasting process. And then they have specific roasts they can create based off of what they've kind of, generated. And so it's very interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the future and what we're doing this year and scaling the business. And my goal is to have it in resorts. I want to, put it into all the Airbnbs here, and just have that experience. And I wanted to create more than just a brand. I wanted to create a lifestyle. And so that's where I'm at with it, is to, gear it up. It's a whole experience. I want to take out Starbucks. I'll be honest.
It's so unimpressive. Like Dunkin' and Starbucks, I'm like, please. I always try to support local or smaller businesses. The coffee's so much better. And just, you want to support small businesses and, and all of that. So congratulations on all your success. That's amazing. I hope to try it at some point soon. I'm sure you have a store and you have it available for purchase and all that. So everybody should check that out. But absolutely, I think, with coffee, tea, other beverages, it really is something that, people socialize and get together or enjoy. I mean, I literally can't do anything in the day without having at least a cup of coffee. And it's funny, you're like, everyone loves coffee. It's except for the people who don't, but most people do. So yeah, I love that. And I love that you're doing what you're passionate about and that you love what you do. And I hope people continue to support you, and congratulations on all that. That's amazing.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a great
Yeah, and we're excited to have you joining us tonight on the panel. So thank you so much. We got people thinking coffee. They're probably going to make coffees and get coffees right now. So guys, yeah, grab your coffee and let's chat. So NYC Mayor Zoran Mamdani is one of the most polarizing political figures, a lot due to his highly progressive policies and outspokenness on international and policing issues. Over the weekend on 3/7, there was a terrorist incident that took place outside Gracie Mansion. There was a rally called Stop the Islamic Takeover of NYC with demonstrators including Jake Lang, which I know Jay has something to say about him, and we'll get to that in a sec. This happened near the mayor's residence. Counter protesters also gathered. Tensions escalated. A lot of this, I think, results from the mayor he's very vocal about Islamophobia and discrimination against Muslims in NYC. So 2 young men allegedly brought homemade explosive devices. One was thrown toward the crowd, another was discovered later. Thankfully, they failed to detonate. Very thankfully. Kevin, I was also glad. I'm assuming you weren't around when this happened, and I thought of you, and I was just like, I hope you weren't around to be a part of this craziness.
Kevin would have slapped him.
What's that?
Kevin would have slapped him.
I did foresee that happening. Yes, I could totally see that happening.
No, I tend not to go to the protests and like counter protest them. I found that even with all the events I do out on Long Island, and we've done events with 30,000 people, I find that when you counter protest events, that's when problems happen. Even there's all these anti-ICE rallies going on Long Island. People are like, when are we doing something? I'm like, we're not. Let them burn. There's 40 people there. Let them burn out or stand out in the rain and the cold and get pneumonia, and then we don't have to deal with them next week. But I tend not to. Plus, I've got my own opinions on Jake. So,
yeah.
Sounds like you and Jay might have similar opinions on Jake.
Well, you know what it is? You know what it is about him? I think that his antics make the message look stupid.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
There's if you got something to say, you got something you want to do an anti-Islam rally, have a party. But screaming the N-word and showing up with goats and sending messages that may or may not, but seem to be very real. Not great. So it's just and look, don't get me wrong. When he showed up with the goat, okay, that's really funny, but it doesn't help, and I think it diverts away from the broader message.
Yeah, well, the thing is he's trying to be like Alex Stein, but Alex Stein is actually funny. Jake Lang is not funny at all. But I've hosted him before. I didn't know anything about Jake Lang before I hosted him, and it got crazy. It was I was getting death threats. Kimmy, my co-host, was getting death threats, and so I didn't know anything about the fucking kid, and we host him or whatever, and people go crazy over this guy, and these were J6ers that were furious that we were even hosting him on there because they think that he had special privileges when he was in prison, and they feel like he was an informant and stuff like that. So I don't know the situation with the kid, but people went nuts over him when we host him. I honestly, I wish I wouldn't even host him, but the thing is he's trying to push back on Democrats and stuff like that, which I'm not against. I'm not against pushing back on Mamdani. I'm not against, doing something funny or whatever, but I don't think his antics are that funny. I don't think they bring the right, type of attention to these things. And then Mamdani is going to use this to raise money off of it, right? He's going to use this to make more money or whatever. He's going to get more donations and stuff like that. I'm not against Jake Lang. I don't really care what he's doing in his life or whatever, but I think he's running for Congress too, right? He's running for a congressional seat or whatever. I just think it's, I don't know. It's not funny. It's not in good taste or whatever. And Mamdani's going to use this against the rest of us. He's going to raise money off this or whatever and make it look bad, which we should be focused on these fucking terrorists or whatever. Those kids
Yeah.
should, they should be in Guantanamo Bay, honestly. Like this is terrorism. Like, they were unsuccessful, thank God, but they were trying to hurt people, and they think it's a game, and it's not a game.
Did they say they were IEDs? I think they classified them as
Yeah,
IEDs.
yeah, they did. They were explosives, and they just happened to not go off or whatever. They didn't build them well or whatever.
Thankfully, yeah.
Apparently, they were like, they weren't your like YouTubeable like bomb. Like, you can you can Google how to make a pressure cooker. It's just a crock pot and some nails.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not. Those are like the rudimentary devices that they used in Boston. But apparently, this is like whatever that TATP stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's like some serious shit. Like,
yeah.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, how long before somebody is successful too, right? This is a numbers game. It's like mass shooters, right? They see this, they get an effect or whatever. They see that it's a lot of media attention and stuff like that, and more follow after that. That's the problem with this whole thing, is there needs to be real serious repercussions for these kids. Like, they don't need who's the kid? Luigi. Like, they don't need the Luigi treatment. They need the fucking Guantanamo Bay treatment, and they need to be, this needs to be taken seriously, because it's not even summer yet. Wait till summertime. It's gonna get fucking insane. Like, people.
So it's like one location here, one location there. It's like they're just sporadic all over the country.
Yeah, it could have been very serious. It could have been very bad. And they obviously, from what they were saying, they had planned this to be a much bigger attack, a much bigger thing. And they're ISIS inspired, traveled from Pennsylvania. So this, thankfully, but absolutely. And we'll get to Mamdani's response and what people are saying about that. But just wanted to say hi to everybody in the chat. What's up, Lake Erie Mama? Schmeckles saying Jake Lang got caught in a sting. Do you know anything about
that? One of those to catch a predator stings.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So, I don't know the truth about it or whatever, but
Alex Rosen, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Whatever you think. I don't know Alex. I don't know.
I've had him on my spaces before, and
I've hosted him also, and I think he does a lot of really good work. But apparently, the rumor is that Jake was caught texting a 15-year-old girl or something like that. I don't know the truth of it, so I'm not going to speak on it or whatever. But that's what I saw floating around X today.
Gotcha. His attorney bill must be crazy.
That's a good point.
Like, I feel like every week he's causing chaos somewhere. So,
you know what? Those are the people that, like, we were making the Alex Stein comparison. Nothing Alex does is insightful. I'm sorry, inciting. Like, dangerous.
Well, Alex Stein is clever. It's funny. Like, the shit he's doing, like, that's hilarious. Like, the big booty Latinas and stuff like that. That's hilarious. Like, people talk about it.
I died. Like,
so funny.
I could just him on the steps going.
And he followed me too. Like, he's awesome. I think he's
really great. I've actually hung out with Alex. I've had him on the podcast, and I've hung out with him a couple times in person.
Alex is great.
He's great. He's so great. I love him.
Shockingly, he doesn't drink. He does.
Kevin doesn't trust people that don't drink. It's all right. I'm from Kentucky. I can say that. I feel the same.
Well, no. I just mean, like, I would need, like, at least a beer or two to do some of the shit Alex does. Like, I gotta get a little liquid courage in me.
Yeah, he definitely has balls. That's for sure. Thank you so much, Lake Erie Mama, for reposting the stream. What's up, Bobby? Jake Lang is not a Christian. He's an actor like Larry the Cable Guy. Apparently, I just got into Laura Loomer is apparently having Jake on tonight. So, FYI.
Yeah, but she, like, hates Muslims. Like, she'll do anything. She'll give that guy attention all day long just because I love Laura, but, like, let's be real. She'll do anything to platform someone that was out there inciting or making fun of Muslims. She hates them all.
It's funny because, like, you have the Christian right that hates him because they think he's or you have, like, the Groiper right, whatever you want to call them, who hates him because they think he's a Jewish plant because he, like, went to Israel when he was 20 or something. And then you have like the far left that hates him because he hates everyone who isn't a Christian. But people don't think it's just like that guy is setting the, and look, I want to be clear. A lot of people dislike me. But this guy is like setting fucking Wayne Gretzky style records for the people who dislike him. At some point, it's like, bro, you need to go on vacation for like 3 weeks and just shut up and then like come back, regroup, start fresh.
I think that's good advice. Hopefully he listens.
I don't think so. I think he's going to be out on 8th Avenue with a goat next week.
Wear your lucky shirt. Yeah, it's almost St. Patrick's Day. So yeah, so with all of this, Mamdani's response. Yesterday, white supremacist Jake Lang organized a protest outside Gracie Mansion rooted in bigotry and racism. Such hate has no place in New York City. It's an affront to our city's values and the unity that defines who we are. What followed was even more disturbing. Violence at a protest is never acceptable. The attempt to use an explosive device and hurt others is not only criminal, it is reprehensible and the antithesis of who we are. I want to thank the brave men and women of NYPD who acted quickly to keep New Yorkers safe. Our officers ran toward danger without hesitation, demonstrating once again the courage and dedication it takes to protect this city every single day. My administration is closely monitoring the situation, and I remain in close contact with our police commissioner. What do you guys think about this response? I have my own thoughts, but how do you...
There's a lot to unpack there. So the biggest,
the nicest possible way of saying it.
the biggest piece goes to Jake Lang, right? So that like the political stunt or whatever, which is crazy. It should go to the actual terrorists that were trying to set off bombs and hurt people. That should have been the biggest thing. Jake Lang, whatever. It's not like this. He's not this super white supremacist or whatever. Like he's just, he's trying to get attention or whatever. It's more of a show than anything. But the thing is like, there almost should have been separate tweets. He should have said, there was a terrorist incident. Like that should have been like the biggest thing. That should have been the absolute focus, because people trying to hurt people is way different than people making a political stunt. That's crazy that that he thinks that's honestly where liberals lose a lot of people, is because they think that a political stunt is more something more impactful than a fucking guys setting off bombs on people that they don't even know or whatever. Like it's crazy that you would prioritize one over the other. That it's completely backwards the way his response.
Well, I don't think he is. I think that I'm not going to say doesn't care, but would justify two jihadists throwing a bomb because they land on his side. And in this context, Jake being a dick gives them the excuse to not address the main. Because look, right. Did he address the incident? Yeah, he did.
Barely.
Which incident?
Yeah.
Because if it's just two, because look, here's the thing. This was pre-planned. Okay. You don't drive from Pennsylvania with pre-made bombs because you heard about an 11-person protest in New York City. This was planned ahead of time.
Yeah.
They were looking for people to kill, and Jake and whoever was with him were the convenient target of that day. Now, it's entirely possible they were throwing him at Zoran for not being radical enough, which is entirely possible. You don't drive 4.5 hours from Pennsylvania, and it's not like Philly. Like Philly's probably the closest to New York. That's still 3 hours. So, I think these guys were planning on something. They heard about it and they showed up with. They didn't make these things like, last night, and they were like, "Oh, we saw Jake Lang is doing something in New York. Let's put these things together." They're not bomb techs. This isn't like the Hurt Locker. Nobody. You don't just do that. And I think that this was the excuse they needed.
Yeah, I mean, what bothered me about it upon, reading it is just how vague it was. And I think a lot of people are feeling that way, that he didn't explicitly call out the radical Islam or Islamist extremism. Casually left that part out.
It's like,
right?
look over here, not over there.
Yeah, so I don't know. Also, let us know in the chat how you're feeling about it. So Kevin, I also thought about how you were just bringing up and were saying how something that scares you more than a nuclear bomb from another country is sleeper cells.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought about that because you just said that. Like, is this just the beginning? Do you see more of this happening? And what can we do?
Well, look, I mean, obviously with the attacks on Iran, there are going to be people pissed off about it. We saw the guy in Austin with the property of Allah shirt. We saw these guys. Is there going to be more? I think that's the fear of these lone wolves, because look, no one in law enforcement will tell you this, but like, if you just think about it for 2 seconds, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about some guy in his house just pent up for weeks and weeks and weeks, living on Reddit, like has one bad incident or a global event and just snaps. There's nothing you can do about that. And then you got 3 dead kids and 50 kids. You got 3 dead people and 14 shot at an Austin bar. You got, thank God these guys sucked at making bombs, because you had crowds. There would have been 20, 25, 30 dead, like in this incident. So it's there's really nothing you can do about the sort of, and I think that's why I hate when people say like, oh, they were known to the FBI, because I think to myself, how known? Like, did they come across some dick on a Reddit thread, because that's most of Reddit, or were they being watched? And how were they being watched? Were they being surveilled in the FBI van outside the house? Or was it like, we got a threat assessment in a police department that's understaffed in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, and didn't have time to look into it because we only have 9 sheriff's deputies. Like, so it's one of these things that there's nothing really you can do about. And that's what's terrifying, because in a world where apparently 2 19-year-olds can get this sort of explosive device, I mean, I'm still trying to figure out exactly all of what this thing is, but this isn't like he poured out a bunch of bottle rockets and created a bomb. This is like a chemical weapon, right?
It had like bolts and screws and stuff in it.
Well, that's how they build the homemade, like the IEDs, because it creates the shrapnel that'll, like, if you watch like Patriot Day or whatever, they all, like almost everybody there lost a limb because it just shreds it up. But the chemical agent that they used, it's like a chemical warfare type thing. It's not just like you open up a bunch of M80s and you have a bomb. Like, you can go to the local fireworks shop and get enough gunpowder to create a bomb. Like, anybody can do that. But this is like this is intense. According to, from what I know, I could be talking shit.
Now, didn't they say that the parents became legal citizens and like went through the immigration process and stuff?
Yeah, one of them from Turkey, one of them from Afghanistan.
Yeah. I saw like someone posted a picture of what their house looked like, and people were taken back. It was like this massive house in Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, they live in a palace in Bucks County. It's a 2.5. One lived in a $2.5 million house that was 13,000 square feet, and the other one lived in like a moderately large regular person's house. But I'm just happy to know. I'm just really happy to know that the Afghan resettlement program we have is able to provide that sort of housing for people who have been here for 5 minutes, so their kids can blow up Americans. But don't worry, none of us will own a home ever. Yeah. Don't worry. Like,
pay taxes.
That'll be cute. I'm gonna have to move to like down in a holler to buy a house. Like,
I read over the weekend that, and this one surprised me, I think they're trying to keep a lid on certain attacks that are being, and messages they're getting. The FBI, the Trump administration didn't want to scare the public. And so for the terror threat that in the different messages they were getting, they did not want to put it out. But they were going to put out a message, I think, earlier on Friday or Thursday, and they didn't. And so, this also goes back to how much do we not know? And I really hope that they are being transparent, especially with DHS defunded right now. I think the American people need all the warning we can get.
Yeah. I wonder how people feel about that. Like, do you think we all deserve the right to be informed, even if it's like a scare tactic?
I don't know if it's a scare tactic. I feel like it's been like 4 flights now. We've seen people act a fool. I think people are already scared based on the war that's going on. We have veterans that are really going through a lot. And I think that there's already an uptick of political violence and people kind of freaked out by everything. The base is divided and that's causing issues. You get to the airport and you're waiting 4 hours to get through security. People are pissed. They get to the bar, they drink, and by the time they get on the flight, they act a fool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then add the other dangers that we saw on these flights this past week. Kansas City's airport was completely evacuated due to bomb threat. I mean, this is ridiculous.
There's that plane from Nashville too. The guy said he was going to blow it up or something like that, and they all.
I want to be very clear. Those people that were sitting there with their hands up, get the hell out of here. If you're on my plane and you're acting like that, bro, I am going full back down the aisle, knocking over the drink cart. I'm not sitting my hands up. Like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm going down. I'm not saying we ain't going. I'm not saying we're not going down, but I'm not going to make it easy for you.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to make sure that you saw how Bobby said his accent is so good and Kevin for mayor.
I would.
And New Yorkers should not elect people without an accent showing they're from there.
True.
That's a great idea. We tried to nominate a guy who had an even better accent than me, but he got less votes than fill a college football stadium. So.
Well, something else that I found interesting about the response was the praise of the NYPD, like of the police, when, you know, Zoran has been so critical of the police. So some people, you know, from the police standpoint, I don't know, is this some sort of political move to make it look like appear more like he's pro-police? And
he has to do that. Like he has to. Like it probably kills him that he has to do that. That he has to praise him or whatever. Like he didn't just run on defunding the police. Like he,
right.
So I know that part eats him up. But there's a certain thing. Like it's different when you're on the campaign trail and when you're actually in the seat. And
how many people did he lose when he became mayor? Because I thought a lot of people resigned.
Well, here's what will happen. A lot of the older guys who have their 20 will leave, and a lot of younger people who only have 2 or 3 years on will leave because they're not invested. So you'll lose the experienced cops at the top, and then you'll lose the new people at the bottom, and then you'll have just 10-year guys that are just going, how much time do I got left? That's the Ferguson effect. That's the idea of there's nobody to train because the older guys have left. There's nobody new to send to the shit neighborhoods. Because if you got 10, 12 years on the job, you're not going to East New York. You're not going to Bensonhurst. You're not going to the shitty neighborhoods because you did your time. You want to go to Staten Island when nothing happens. You're not going to go to the 7-5 precinct that has the most murders in the country. And then what happens? You get lower resources. So then as mayor, what do you end up doing? You start policing the rich neighborhoods. And then the poor neighborhoods get taken over by like the American gangster Frank Lucas type people because there's no cops there because nobody wants to do the job. And that is what ends up happening. So there's not really a defunding of the police as much as there is a let's not rehire anybody who leaves of the police. And that way he doesn't have to say he actually defunded them. Look, say what you will about the guy. He is politically brilliant. He's one of the most dangerous people we've seen in American history because he's so smooth. He's Gavin Newsom with a radical religion behind him. But he's good at what he does. You know, he's talented. So.
Yeah, and he completely lied about everything too. Like he lied about like lowering the cost, like making things free, like he completely lied about all that. And there seems to be no no repercussions for doing so. Spanberger did the same thing, right? They just completely lied to get into office, and then there's no political blowback on them at all. They just get away with it. I just don't understand like how people are so stupid that they don't understand what's going on.
Well, because here's the thing: once you get elected, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Right.
What are you gonna do? They're gonna put in all their bullshit at the very beginning, and then they're gonna throw you crumbs after a year out from election day, and then you'll be happy about it. You know, I mean, with Zoran, like 60% of the things he promised in his campaign, he can't do.
Yeah.
He couldn't, like, he can't make the buses free. Not like, oh, he can because it'll bankrupt the city. I mean, it's not within his power to do that. He can't make the buses faster because, spoiler alert, there's traffic on 7th Avenue at 6:30 at night. Like, unless he has figured out a way to fix the concept of traffic, which would make him a god.
Didn't he raise rates on the buses actually?
Yeah. Third day.
I find a lot of these like up and coming socialists to be very smooth talkers. I mean, Tallarico in Texas is another great one. He's a huge socialist. I think he's going to be the next one that could possibly, which is knock on wood, he doesn't, but I feel like he's easily, he's a front runner right now. On both polls, I've seen him leading against both Republican candidates that are still in this, which is insane to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you know what it is that Tallarico is dangerous because he's not physically dangerous. He's like this soft-spoken, meek little bitch.
Yeah, so is Mayor Pete, though, and he's a bit like, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
I think Tallarico is even more dangerous than Mayor Pete because he is a pussy on most things.
Oh, yeah, no, I think Tallarico is way more dangerous.
Yeah.
Because he's got the sort of like facade. Oh, look, I'm a Southern Baptist preacher, and I can fit in rural Dallas. And there are going to be people that are going to give him a shot, particularly if they have some sort of gripe against Cornyn or Paxton, or they don't like the impeachment, or they're pissed off at Paxton's wife, who apparently had to vote on his impeachment while they were getting divorced, which must have been really awkward. It's look, it's also not going to help that the Senate Leadership Committee is going to have to spend $100 million on a primary here in a state we should be winning by 15. You know, that's going to cause us to lose North Carolina. Roy Cooper is incredibly liked in North Carolina. Michael Whatley, just another self-interested leader of a party who's like, you know what? Now that I'm the RNC chair, I can be senator also. And it turns out nobody really likes you, bro. You know, you don't see DNC chairs ever run for. You can't be the head of the party if you also want to be the host of the show. You know, Donna Brazil, Rahm Emanuel, these are behind the scenes. These are coaches. These are not quarterbacks. These are not playmakers. They're the people back moving the chess pieces around. And unfortunately, I think Michael Whatley always had his eyes set on something bigger. And because of that, we're going to lose that seat in North Carolina.
Well, yeah. And, you know, Don Brown had I don't know how that happened because Don Brown, from everyone I've talked to on the ground when I was there meeting with Don Brown, from what I know, everybody was voting for Don Brown. Trump came in the very end and endorsed Whatley. I don't understand what this whole establishment thing is that Susie Wiles is the head of the endorsement. She has a whole team that's working on endorsements. I think they're scared of change, and I think they know they can control certain people. I think Whatley is a bitch and a complete rhino, and we lost a good fight there. And I'm scared to death. And I know Jay has very strong feelings about Paxton race. I'm scared to death, but because Cornyn already came out and for the SAVE Act, because that was Trump's stipulation. And I'm very afraid that he is going to endorse him. And between that and everything else, I think that will be the end of the mega base in Texas.
Well, these endorsements, like, you know, I give I give Trump a little bit of leeway here, and like the thing that I don't understand is why he has to endorse it. Right, Watley is fucking terrible. Like, don't endorse him at all. Like, you don't need to endorse him at all. Like, Don Brown, just let the chips fall where they may, and then endorse afterwards or whatever. Like, I don't see why he has to get in there, endorse or whatever. And Paxton is gonna break the party. Like, if he endorses Cornyn, who fucking hates Trump and is anti-Trump and is gonna do everything to derail everything that President Trump is trying to do, if he endorses somebody that's doing that versus somebody who had his back the entire fucking Biden administration, who has, and like, just look at the Texas accounts that are behind Paxton, Gunther, Sarah Gonzalez, like huge accounts that are behind them saying, no, what are you doing? You have to endorse Paxton. Like, what do you, like, you cannot do this or whatever. Like, it's going to break us if you endorse Cornyn. I don't know what, he probably doesn't care what I have to say or whatever, but like, that's going to be really bad if he does that. Like, Paxton had his back the entire time, regardless of whether he, likes Paxton or whatever. Like, Paxton held the line during the Biden administration. He was suing against, like, the big tech oligarchs. He was doing a lot of stuff for America as a whole. And so if he doesn't get behind Paxton, just don't do any endorsement. Just wait until the primary is over and then do your endorsement. Like, it's because
the person coming to Kentucky or going to Kentucky to fundraise on and to promote, who's running against Thomas Massie, literally hated Trump, changed parties when Trump won originally in 2015, 2016. And now Trump is coming to Kentucky and Trump has propped him up to beat Thomas Massie, which isn't going to happen. But well, I mean, this is I don't understand this pattern that's happening, but I mean, he also said today, we're not going to, the White House said we're not going to do mass deportations. I don't understand the
Well, no, he said stop talking about mass deportations. I think they want that to be happening in the background without everyone mentioning it, keeping it in the news cycle. Because look, Minnesota looked bad for them. I don't care whether they got what was coming, whether wrong place, wrong time. They're terrorists. You got ICE agents killing 2 people. That's a
Joe Biden let 10 million people into our country.
100%. And I'm with you, but I don't.
Obama literally deported more than Trump did at this rate.
Not really.
So, yes, really. His last administration, he only did really 80,000. If you look at the numbers, Obama, he's not matching Obama's numbers from the first one.
Because Obama counted those people they turned away at the border. So that's it. Wasn't like they were scooping people up. And look, like I said, I want mass deportations. What I don't want is those sorts of protest scenes happening all over the country and then American citizens being killed, right or wrong, shouldn't have been there, committed, whatever the hell the case is. It looks bad when you have federal agents, for whatever reason, where there's any ambiguity, and both of those situations look bad to the normie. Because remember something, elections are not about us. We're going to vote. We're going to pick. It's about my mother's friend who doesn't follow politics all day long. And all she knows is that she knows none of the context. She knows ICE agents killed 2 American citizens. She doesn't know. She didn't see the video. She didn't see Alex Preddy with the gun. She didn't see any of that. All she saw, all she's heard, she went on social, oh my God, my crazy sister-in-law told me that ICE agents killed 2 Americans. She sees it on CBS News. They provide no context.
Listen, I love Caroline, but the White House's messaging the last week between her wanting to say, like, nothing's off the table and letting every parent that has somebody in service worried that their children are going to be drafted. Like, she has people freaking out about that. And then today with the messaging is not helping on the ground for midterms. I don't care the way we see it. And really, the mega base is pissed already. We haven't had accountability. Everything he has run on, the messaging is, let's keep it secret. Like, this is the same thing with Epstein. Like, let's not talk about the Epstein files. So, yeah, I love Trump, but I don't know this president. Like, this is not the person I know. It's not the person a lot of us know. Or, let's be honest, Susie Wiles needs to go. But unfortunately, she's only going to go after midterms when it's all said and done.
Yes.
So,
and look, there is a way to message the war thing that they are not doing, because I've long said this. We live in a very strange time where like Caitlin Collins from CNN can go up to Pete Hegseth and go, "Hi, can you please tell me your war strategy?" Like, could you imagine if like somebody at NBC went up to like Eisenhower on like June 1st, 1944, and was like, "Hey, you guys are amassing a lot of troops in southern England. Are you planning to invade France anytime soon?" Like, you know, no one would, the press would never have expected that. And that is like, why would I tell you what I am and am not willing to do on the news so that the enemy knows what I am?
Yeah, I'm not really talking about that. I'm more so talking about like this only follows like, let's not talk about the Epstein files. Let's not talk about mass deportations. And honestly, I can understand though, they might want DHS funded. It might only gaslight the Democrats to keeping DHS not funded. But at the same time, putting that out everywhere, you're going to have the base going insane.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Thanks, guys. Very fair points. Absolutely. This whole, terror incident, I think it raises a lot of tough questions that I'm going to pose for discussion. One of which is, what lessons should policymakers take from this incident moving forward? Any thoughts on that?
Well, I think that you can't solve a problem until you admit what one is.
Acknowledge it. Yeah.
People like Zorhan need to be, and what caused this to happen? Say the words. Say the words, because we all know what it is. I mean, and this isn't me making a critique of Islam. This is me listening to what they said. Why did this happen? What caused you to, the guy? I mean, there's one phrase that after all of this happens, we all know what the phrase is. We all know what it is. Like, it's not, there's no ambiguity when a radical Islamist decides to do something insane. We all know what they say afterwards. It's like a warning that something's about to go kaboom, but Democrats won't admit it. And I would love to see the right wingers on some of these left wing channels, whether it's like Brianna Lyman or Scott Jennings on CNN, like when they go on there, push these pundits. Why did they do this? Tell me, say it out loud. Like, next time, there's an actual Republican on The View, they should make them say it. Just keep pressing them. Make them look dumb. And you have to be able to admit that there's a problem before you can fixing it.
That is a really good point. I agree. Also, sorry, do you want to say something?
No, I said thank you for agreeing with me.
I do. It's a really good point.
We should all do that more often. We should all just agree with Kevin.
I see. We're doing that here to model for other people, so that hopefully they take note.
This one.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
You know what's funny is I wasn't sure where on your screen.
I was also thinking, we should really admit the problem. Muslims, we have an issue with Islam, and then we also have an issue with Jewish people. So there, I'll say it. I'll say it for them all.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, you broke up there.
I said it.
No, it's I think it's different kinds of problems. Do I think that foreign governments have way too much power in over our government? For sure.
Yeah.
Am I worried about Mossad blowing me up on a subway? No.
Fair.
Okay. How about
awkward?
No, not awkward.
Madeline almost agreed there. That was good.
I love it. We're modeling.
I'm holding back. So I have so many things I could go.
Although it is funny because I didn't know where on her screen.
Right. You nailed it.
I don't know if I was pointing to Jay or not. I don't know if it
right.
I don't know if it
how it looks for everyone else.
What's my black dog? What the hell are these people talking?
I want to say that they mean something else, but I don't know. Is it just me being dirty? Kevin always has good
what
takes.
that means? I don't know.
What Bobby said, Kev? What? Kevin always has good takes.
Bobby Smart. Wait, this guy wants a black dog? Hold on.
There you go.
Aw, there we go.
Hey, Rocco.
Cutie.
There you go, bud. Rocco, you want to go for a ride?
Oh,
Aw.
so cute. I love it. Just checking. I think you guys should all do broadcasts this on your own channels also. I mean, most of them do.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait.
well, what I noticed is I did that one time where I broadcasted in a couple different channels that I own or whatever, and it screwed up the algorithm. It screwed, like I had like 0 views. So
Yeah.
it's like multi-platform. It might be different, but if you do multiple on X, it doesn't help it.
Really?
Yeah, it hurt it because I have a page just for my show, and I did it on my page and also on my show, and it killed the impressions.
And I'm always late, so
There's all kinds of crazy things that happen. We just trial and error and see how it goes. So we're happy that you're here. Okay, how about how should political leaders respond publicly after a violent incident to calm tensions rather than inflame them?
Well,
These are tough questions.
You know what? I think
them out there.
it's a crazy time where you on X, you can argue with a political figure. Like you're so close to people. For example, like I see Nancy Mace all the time going crazy. Like even sometimes when she's inaccurate about some of the things she says. So it's very interesting because I think a lot of people look to the political figures when something major does happen because a lot of people still trust the government and trust what they say and try to believe in what they're trying to convey. But it's very interesting because I see obviously it's a matter of right and wrong. Are you for Americans or are you not? And so like when you see major things happen that disturb that, it's very interesting to see the perspective. But I feel like, I know Kevin said earlier, like you can't always make everybody happy, right? Like, and then there's always going to be the worry wart. There's going to be people that take it 10 steps further and go buy 10 packs of fucking toilet paper to stock up because apparently the world's going to end. It's very interesting to see how we interpret their message because 99% of the time it's always misinterpreted some way somehow. Like someone's going to take offense, like you're going to offend everybody all the time, and so it's very difficult. I don't really think there's necessarily such a sense of calming anybody as a matter of perspective and how you internalize the information. So it's and where it depends on where you live too. Like I don't live in a chaotic area where it's chaos all the time, and like I'm not in a big city where there's a lot of hustle and bustle. Like we're island time and we live a lot slower down here. So when you see major events happen, it's still far-fetched from where our actual reality is. But for me, I have a hard time trusting the government and what they say anyway. So like, you're going to tell me to calm down, or you know what I mean? Like, I think the whole Epstein, my personal opinion, the whole Epstein case and how it was carried out and how it's still developing really has said a lot about like our government and just the misinformation, like, oh, don't talk about this, look here, not over there. I thought it was very interesting. Clinton's testify, and 2 days later, even 1 day later, we're bombing Iran. And it was like a distraction. You know what I mean? There's always something else going on. But I don't think that political figures and how they convey or what their perspective is, they're obviously going to protect themselves at the end of the day. But I don't know if they're going to really ever calm anybody because it's half and half. Half the people are going to take offense and half the people are going to get scared. You know what I mean? So it's like really honestly how you're doing in your personal life and how you interpret that information when it comes in. But I've seen people, social media is unhinged. X is unhinged. It's a shit show every day. Like there's something crazy, something going on, and it's hard to keep up with it. But how much of it are you going to let it affect you? You know what I mean? So it's very interesting, but like, just my personal perspective, especially like Nancy Mace, I can pinpoint specifically because she's out there all the time. She's always calling out information, always demanding answers. Did Ilhan really marry your brother? Like she's really always about things like that. But how much of it, really actually gets dealt with as well? Like that never came to be either. So it's very interesting. I try not to let it affect me, but I don't know that they're ever necessarily going to calm the American people. Like, what can they possibly say or do that would put me at ease?
Well, I think it's also that information. We live in a time where information has never moved faster, and I talk about this a lot with the Charlie case. Is that Trump is doing so many things like so quickly. Just whatever you think about how the administration has gone, being that it's filled with people who are more business oriented than it is politicians so much, they go from topic to topic. All right, we're doing this on Monday, we're doing this on Tuesday, we're doing this on Wednesday. Not dragging it out for the story. That's just not how business people operate.
Yeah.
And do I think everything's been handled great? No, I don't. I think there's been a lot of unforced errors and a lot of stuff we probably didn't have to do, like the war in Iran. But I'm getting some of what I want. I'm not getting all of everything that I asked for. Also, we still have 3 years. So
No, we don't. Not if we lose midterms.
Well, all the executive branch stuff will still happen.
Well, yeah, but everything else done.
Yeah, and John Thune, what? Like,
yeah, he should be
he's useless.
He's done. He's useless.
It's wild. I would love to see someone see. You know what else the problem is? I think is that all the really actually MAGA people or the enthusiastic ones about any particular thing never want to become leader because then they can never actually do anything. So Mike Lee would never be Senate Majority Leader because then he would be bogged down with being Majority Leader and couldn't do the shit he wanted to do. You're never going to get it. Whatever you think of, you're never going to get a Nancy Mace or Lauren Boebert or even Marjorie Taylor Greene before she got really pissed about everything. You're never going to get those kinds of people in leadership because they're so out there. They are incredibly divisive. And you can't have a leader be divisive when it comes to the donor because all the leaders do is fundraise. That's all they do. That's why Kevin McCarthy was his whole crew, Kevin McCarthy, Paul Ryan, they were the most boring milquetoast, tried not to upset anybody people because that's what the leaders have to do. You want to be out there, you want to be loud, you want to be big on social media, you want to be AOC, you want to be Crockett. How did that work? About being a national star. Because guess what? They might love Jasmine Crockett in Detroit, but they didn't really like her where it mattered in Houston. And, AOC, for example, AOC could never be leader. She could never run for Senate because upstate Democrats don't like her because she's she's not really from the city, but we could talk about that all day. She's never going to be president because you can't have somebody like that who is off-putting to people in suburban Detroit or rural Georgia be the leader of it. So it's almost a double-edged sword. The people that we like the most are the ones we like the most because they do the stuff that the people we hate can't do. So it's certainly complicated. It's not great, but that was a lot longer than I planned on it being, by the way.
Well, in terms of Mamdani, though, he would basically have to admit, if he addressed the Muslim terrorist thing or whatever, he'd basically be saying that he is a hypocrite, right? He campaigned on, people hating on Muslims and stuff like that. And his wife, she's a terrorist sympathizer, obviously, publicly. And, and the thing is he would have to admit that he was essentially wrong on a lot of these things that he campaigned on. And so he's not willing to do that. And which is crazy because, he's basically lied about everything else. You might as well be a liar on this too.
Yeah. How much of a difference do you think it would make though, if he actually was accountable or you know what I mean? Or even acknowledged any of it?
He doesn't need to be because he has the media backing him up. Democrats have media that are going to come to their defense and they're going to deflect. They're going to go to Trump. They're going to try and, make Trump look bad in every situation. They're not held accountable except for, by us on social media, which are suppressed accounts. Right. So that's, really
but you know what it is also, they talk about holding someone accountable. Okay. We'll hold them accountable in 4 years. He's untouched with a supermajority of the New York City Council. There's 53 New York City Council seats. Right now, 4 of them are held by Republicans. They have a 49 seat majority. So he could do anything he wants. And there's no one that can stop him.
Yeah.
And even and here's the thing is that the moderate Democrats, because there are moderate Democrats in moderate Democrat city council seats, they're going to be so afraid of being primaried from their Did that dog just open the door? Yeah, he did.
Holy Ghost.
They're gonna be so worried about being primaried from the DSA, who they just showed can win, that they're gonna fall in line and they're not gonna make waves. So, it's tough. And here's the thing: the Republicans, the 4 members of the Republican caucus, they're not gonna make waves because they could be removed from office any day.
Yeah.
Any day they could be, and there's nothing they can do about it. Then the mayor has to call a new city council race, which he won't do. Then they'll have 3. And then they'll have 2. And then there won't be anybody in New York City to go on Fox News and at least talk about the issues that matter.
Your comments are lit tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot. I know. I'm reading through them. Ron wants to know, y'all think the DNC will have Hakeem step down after the midterms?
No.
I wouldn't think so either, but
he's a fundraising machine.
We're going to miss Mitch when he's gone. Crockett is obviously the most competent of the coven you speak of. She obviously has people behind her that support her a great deal. Coven, like Coven of Witches?
I'll give the libs a good one. I was actually impressed with something Cory Booker put out this week for Americans.
Mm-hmm.
I read it from everything that's public, at least, unless something were to change. I read everything, and it's pretty black and white. And it's your first $75,000 are basically not taxed, like for Americans. And I think that's that's very America first. I would like to see Republicans starting to bring things like that to the floor. And putting those out instead of some of the stuff we've been dealing with. I was impressed.
That's going to be I think the message of attempted affordability is going to be the message moving forward. Which person is going to get behind random policies that will affect regular people? And look, Trump sort of edged at it. He edged at it with the capping of credit card rates, which I actually think would hurt a lot of people in the short term. It would help them in the long term. But he talked about no institutional investors, no private equity buying private houses. I'm working on something with a member of Congress right now who I'm trying to turn into a bit of a star, if he'll listen to me. I think I can. To make student loans expungible through bankruptcy again, which would essentially end the college cartel. Then they would have to compete to actually get their money back with average people. I could go. That's actually a real passion project of mine, as to why college is so expensive, and it's because of that provision that Bill Clinton put in for a good reason, but then it took on a life of its own. But these are like real things that would affect real people. And look, Trump did it with the no tax on tips and the no tax on overtime. And after the 15th, when we start getting the hard data coming out about tax returns and what people were able to claim and the sole tax deductions here on Long Island, which is huge. That is huge in red areas and blue states. I'm not actually a fan of it, but it went through. So what the hell? I don't think it's Iowa's fault that Long Island pays a shitload in property taxes, but whatever. That's going to help out a lot of regular people. So I think it's going to be able. I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see how that comes out April 15th when the data starts coming in.
Well, you bring up a good point. I think one of the things we're going to see here, if we do not address affordability for everyday Americans, I think we're going to see a lot of bankruptcies. I think it's going to be why if American people can, and most, millennials and Gen Zers can't afford to buy a home, then what's the point of why not file for bankruptcy? There's also like Chapter 13 where it's like a restructure, and you can basically get all of your bills halted and like spend, 2 years, to just whatever you would call your finances. I think bankruptcies are going to be on the rise because the one reason people don't file bankruptcy is because of buying a house. That is a very common thing. And right now, buying a house for the everyday American is off the table.
But here's the thing is that student loans, file bankruptcy, you still got to pay them back.
Yeah.
So that's why Harvard and NYU and Yale and some of these private institutes, not even the top-notch ones, just not state universities, can go, okay, fine. You want to go to Miami? I just picked one. You're in New York, or you want to go to school in Miami? Who the hell doesn't want to do that? All right, cool. It's $80,000 a year. Because guess what? They know they're getting their money.
Yeah.
The mafia can charge you 50 points on top of your debt because guess what? They know they're getting their money one way or the other. Mm-hmm. And now the schools don't have to compete. Now they're basically just out there competing for foreign money. So they're going, okay, cool. Rich guy from South Korea. There's one spot left available for your child at Yale. You're fighting with another rich guy from Dubai. So who's got more money? 100, 110, 120, 130. And then like smart, poor kids in America will never, I don't care if you're a doctor from the University of Chicago, you're never paying that back.
Yeah.
Well, if Elon Musk and all of these, tech people keep saying UBI is going to be a thing here. I mean, Elon is out there every week saying we don't need to save, that eventually, we're not going to have jobs. It's really crazy and out of touch. But at the same time, it really makes the American people feel like, why would I pay these loans back if the Democrats are going to come right back in and say, we're going to have to go the UBI route? Because by the way, we're not going to talk about jobs reports because it wasn't great. The jobs report was not great. And if it continues to go this way, UBI is on the table and it sucks. I hate that for our country. But at the same time, if we have UBI, then the American people are not going to be paying back their taxes. We're going to have to say like certain, private schools or schools like Harvard, you're paying back, right? But then if you go to a statewide school or anywhere in your state, then or community, I don't know how it's going to work, but it doesn't make sense to me. How are we going to have UBI and then tell people they have to pay back their student loans to the government? It doesn't make sense.
Angie's right. That's a statistic that in the chats they published today that there were more hardship withdrawals from 401ks than at any point in American history. So for those of you who don't know,
they've been talking about it a lot. Yeah.
People who don't know that aren't like finance bros. If you can prove that you are like destitute and you have money in your 401k, you get taxed at the 401k rate that you had agreed to and not the income tax that most people would be taxed at. So, let's say you normally taxed at a 25% rate. You only get taxed at a 12% rate when you pull it out. That is terrifying. That is also personal debt, credit card debt is the highest it's ever been. And it not overall, because every number is going to be higher than it's ever been, but the highest per capita, which means that every year when we go through Christmas, spending on Black Friday is up. Yeah, bro, but they're doing buy now, pay later shits. They're going to check cashing places and taking out payday loans that charge 8,000% interest. Like, which is wild. It's
why SoFi is such a great stock right now.
Yep. Oh yeah, the financial stocks are killing it right now.
Yeah.
Well, I own a whole shitload of them, but it is terrifying because whether it's student loans, you set an 18-year-old up with a $250,000 loan to go to school for art history, a useless degree. And I want to be clear, I have a degree in poli-sci. You know what that is? Useless. Like the frame,
you're kind of using it every day right now.
I promise you, the frame I got from Michael's is worth more than the piece of paper. I learned one thing in college. That one nugget, that's it. And like, I just to saddle people with that kind of debt is nothing short of like debt slavery. The rest of your life. You're a slave. You're a slave to Visa at that point. You're a slave to Jamie Dimon. You're a slave to private equity. And I thought we did away with debt slavery. By the way, the one thing I learned in college: don't propose, guys, on a holiday or a birthday, because if you do that and she breaks it off, she doesn't have to give you the ring back.
Mm.
You're gonna want to write that one down, boys.
Life hack.
Is that true?
Life hacks.
Yeah. Because the ring is an agreement, is a verbal agreement to a contract. But if you do it on a holiday or a birthday, it can be considered a gift. That was the first question on my business law final. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of marriage and wives and partners, did it surprise you guys to find out that Mamdani's wife was liking posts related to the October 7th, 2023 Hamas attack on Israel?
Not at all. No, she's well, was she born in Syria? I don't know. Was she I know she's Syrian, but was she born there? I'm not sure.
Let me see. Let's play a little game here.
They have to realize that any like history they have, someone's gonna dig it up. Like someone went hunting on that, and you're able to find it. Like they can't expect them to be in some type of political spotlight without getting every skeleton in the closet revealed. I mean, that's wild.
It is. And you know what's funny is that the article in the New Yorker calls her one of his most trusted political advisors, and he comes out and goes, "Oh, she's just a private citizen."
Yeah.
Right.
This old ditty. Mamdani claims wife isn't a public figure despite glossy magazine profiles after uproar.
Despite the fact that she wore $900 shoes to the inauguration of a communist.
Yeah, right. So there's, of course, the people who are like, they're two separate individuals. But I mean, like, who is with someone and they're that drastically different?
Yeah.
That like their viewpoints.
First off, I would love the people who believe this to just go, all right, cool. I'm going to give you a name and you just tell me if you feel the same way. Don Jr. Or Eric, who's probably, other than Tiffany, probably the most removed from the administration. Trump just doesn't have to answer questions about Don Jr. ever again? Because I'm pretty sure there's some people who lost a shitload of money in crypto that have some questions. I think all crypto's a scam anyway, but hey, Don, I like you, man, but maybe just chill the fuck out for a minute.
They didn't do a good thing with that when they came out with their own meme coins. They really.
Well, you know what? I think that was also during that NFT craze where you could make an NFT out of your shoe collection.
Oh, yeah.
I want to be clear. I have no idea how any of that works. All I know is that it seems like there is some ladyboy in Thailand who's about to take all your money.
Yeah. Good.
Plus, I don't want to circle back to he who shall not be named, but is it possible that Jeffrey Epstein created Bitcoin?
It could.
Because wasn't that in the emails?
I heard it was.
Oh my God! That I'm tweeting that immediately when this show is over.
Being babies for nerds.
I love every bit of that.
Trangela will love that.
I mean, let's be real. Mamdani's mom was all over Epstein files. It's so odd because again, he acted like he comes from, out of nowhere. He's not a part of any of the mix. Meanwhile, Epstein files come out and there's his mom.
Did he ever respond to that? Did he ever say anything about that?
Nah, why would he do that?
I mean, I think his mom was a New York socialite. So was Epstein.
She was a Disney director.
There you go. There's the real fucking problem.
First off, any person, and Angela knows this.
Seen Amanda Bynes lately, or any of those people?
Anyone who knows a plethora of aspiring rappers They usually come from well-off families because you know what aspiring rappers need to continue living? Someone to pay their bills.
Yeah.
And it turns out that like working at your grandmother's falafel truck, like he pretended to do, is not really going to hack it. You know what studio time costs in New York? Are you kidding? Like, what you think? He's just giving that up?
Wait, last week I brought up the whole Trump and Kash Patel children's book. I just want to say, did anybody know that like Laura Trump has like songs out with like rappers? What's the one French Montana and Laura Trump have like songs out, and she's like all over music videos like dancing with, and this was like this year.
Okay.
No.
Disavow.
They're really bad. Like her, like
You didn't know this?
the Tom Petty one too, like the Won't Back Down, like it's so bad. Like
I am in. You know those like MAGA rappers.
Yeah, like though. Yes, there's one in LA that's big.
McDonald's or whatever.
Trump's
No.
nephew.
I mean, Tom McDonald's different. There's like MAGA rappers, and then there's Tom McDonald. There's one that I am in their music video in Miami.
Wow.
And, I promise you.
What is it?
Was it intentional?
I'm not. If any of you can find it, like I'll send you a free hat. I got news for you. I mean, is she gonna find it right now? This one. Okay.
No, I'm looking up the Laura Trump.
Look at it, this fucking sleuth
music
over here.
video.
Yeah, look, do the Tom Petty one, the Won't Back Down. It's pretty bad. Like we should put it on there.
When was this? When did they do that?
Wait, these are just short. How do I stop this? Let's see here. Kevin
sweet.
should do it. He's
God.
better at sharing screen, I feel like.
What is this? Oh, this is fucking dreadful. Hold on.
Kevin, how did you not know about this?
Because I don't. There's no music video to it, is there?
There's music videos and there's ones of her on her current Instagram, like making it, and it's terrible.
I have like
It's like
I
a
don't have a music video for it, but
bless her heart.
When did
thing.
she do this?
She just made a new one like a few months ago.
Yeah, she's still. Yeah.
She's from
Sorry,
London.
Laura, we all love you, but like there's
Hold on.
certain things that like
They always try to dabble in different things when they get the spotlight.
is
Oh
this
boy. Let's see.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Right.
man. Oh, get ready.
Just looking up.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down.
Oh my God.
You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground.
Wait, you gotta go to like her rap, like the rapper one. It's
Wait,
like,
there's a rapper one?
Rap?
She's in with like French Montana and stuff. It's fucking hilarious. Yes.
Okay, hold on. Give me a sec. I'll find it.
That is crazy.
Oh my, French Montana. This
boy.
can't be real.
Oh boy. LMAO.
No days off.
What's up,
Yes,
dude?
no days off is it. Look at Kevin's face. He's like, stop.
I'm a little hard to read. You only know when you turn on the TV. So think this is a reboot. I'm on the media.
Your tax dollars.
So many different things you know about.
You need to know how I hate everything about this.
Have you not seen like the music video? Like you should go to her Instagram when you
That looks like a romance movie.
and you can see her like dance
Yeah.
with a chair and like French Montana and like rappers all around her.
I hope I never experience that again.
I've never seen her advertise that.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry guys, I had
No, I'm
but
so
the kids
Someone's
book
gotta
this
tell her
week was,
she's like way too skinny to be a rap honey. Like she's like speaking of rap honeys, did everyone see Cardi B's ass fall out this weekend?
yeah, that was
no.
Yeah.
I'll check it. Oh.
Yo, her butt implant Like,
Leave it to Kevin and I to throw the pop culture out.
No, it's fun. I know.
her
I mean,
ass, like dislodged.
oh
Probably
my
the only
gosh.
thing Kevin and
I
I
thought
agree
you
on.
meant like out of an
Yeah,
outfit.
it's not like implants or
No, but like the implant, like
You can see like where like the implant is like coming out of her ass. Like it's like not, it's like fucked up. She might need to go get her ass redone.
yeah, like
I
it's
would-
not.
Oh my god.
Hold on, let me go back.
so what is in a implant? Like I don't even know. Is it like liquid? Is it like I don't even know. Like it's probably got to be pretty tough.
I can't even fathom it. Like I can't
I mean-
fathom that. Like I'm tall. I've always been tall my whole life, and I'm white. My ass goes up my back. Like I like just the thought of like that. I don't even know what to say. The fact
No.
that people do that is insane.
I've never been like, you know what, you'd be perfect, but you need a plastic ass.
Yeah,
Like I
I get that all the time.
like
It's flipped flat side out. One round side, one flat. Flat is normally on the inner side. Well,
With
yeah.
all that money, she like must have gone like out of the country. Like, you got a bad butt job.
no, like it's a little different if you're broke and you're going bald and you go to Turkey, but like Cardi B should be able to do it in fucking
Beverly
Van
Hills.
Nuys. Like
Yeah.
Wow. That really is something.
I've never seen anyone's ass fall off.
I mean, how does that feel? I cannot fathom how that feels.
It didn't look like it hurt. I mean, she was slamming it down pretty good.
Well,
But
yeah,
is she just, I mean, what is she gonna do? You know, she's live on stage
she's
in front
live.
of
She can't just like have someone come out and adjust her.
the show must go on.
Plastic ass. Poor Stefan Diggs can't get out of that to save his life.
Yikes. Oh my God, that's crazy. Wow. Thank you guys for breaking that stuff because that was really fun.
Well, you know
That
what it
wasn't
is?
on my bingo card today, that's for sure.
That's the
I
real.
know.
Here's what happened. I had to one up. I had to one up Madeline. So she brought up awful music, and then I was like, "Oh, I will see your awful music, and I will raise you awful music and a broken ass."
Well, when I found out about the Laura Trump, in fairness, I was shocked. Like that was the last thing I ever expected, and I was like, "This is fake." I literally had to ask AI, like, "Grok, is this real?"
How did you first come across it?
I found so on her like social media, like on her Instagram, there's her dancing in a mansion with a bunch of rapper guys around her, and I was like, no, like this got to be fucking AI. Like the Shade Room, if anyone knows what the Shade Room is, like the Shade Room had her on, like had this clip on the Shade Room, and I was like, this is a fucking lie. Like Shade Room, like no way. And I of course was sadly I went to Laura Trump's like thing and I saw it and I was like, oh my God, it's fucking real. Okay.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's good advice. Well, everyone's going to be on a deep dive from this like everyone's checking it out at this point. So
Hey Laura,
our
when
time
your
is limited.
Spotify goes up, you can thank me.
Yeah, we did. No, thank you guys for all of that. That was amazing. What does this say? Oh, the 6. Yeah, the dice. No, that's so nice. Thank you, David. Okay, so last question on the Mamdani wife social media, because I do think this is an interesting question, and guys in the chat and the audience, let us know too. Should personal social media activity of a public figure's spouse become part of the political conversation?
Yes.
Why or why not?
Yes.
Why do you think so, Kev?
Because
Joe Biden was literally holding fucking meetings for Joe Biden. There's a good example.
yeah. How about the fact that I pay? Well, I don't live in the city, so I live just outside the city. But like everyone who lives in the city, I pay her rent. Like, don't like it? Good. You can have a public social media life all you want, but then don't be pissed off when people scrutinize it. Look, I have a pretty public social media, and I get scrutinized every single day on social media. Every day. I had people in the press calling me because I have a public job, because I posted a very innocuous meme about the potential trade of 100 ugly liberal white women for one Persian baddie. And apparently that was too much for the local press. I wanted to just send all the liberal white women over to Tehran and then find the hot Persian women and bring them over here. And apparently that was misogynistic and apparently Islamophobic, which A, I was talking about the Christians, but B, didn't have anything to do with religion. So, if you're going to you want a public life, then you're going to have public scrutiny.
Yes, no, absolutely. And you should be held accountable. We always talk about that. What about your family members or spouses, though, or partners?
Could you imagine if Melania Trump was liking Vladimir Putin's tweet or something like that? Could you imagine? They would go ballistic over it. Like, and the press, everybody, like social media, the Krasensteins would just be going nuts over it. And so, the thing is like they get different treatment, right? They get they get security, they get a lot of these different things, like, and so they're involved. And, that's also why they have to go through, there's I'm not sure about like his wife, if she has to go through like a security clearance process or like a background check, but I imagine she does. It's the largest city in America, and she's, being his wife, she's going to have information that other people aren't going to have. You can't there's no way he's going to be able to hide that. She's going to be included in some of this information, which is a problem because she's a terrorist sympathizer. And so it's,
I think I got to tell you, I think that on some level we can skip the sympathizer part.
Right. Yeah. She's,
I mean, at a certain point here,
for sure.
Look, I don't know what we're all overreacting about, because it was just like two guys who went for a drive on a nice sunny day and got caught up, according to CNN. So, it was
right, teenagers, right? They call it that was the headline. They're two teenagers or whatever. Like, they downplayed it. CNN lost all credibility. Like, I don't know, like with the Larry Ellison thing or whatever, like when that's going to take effect to see a change in CNN, but hopefully it comes soon, because I'm sick of their shit.
Okay, first off, I'm going to laugh at something that's going to upset a little bit. I think Barry Weiss is going to be the news editor of CNN. That's hilarious. You know how pissed off everyone there's going to be. Like, look, there's going to be some problems, obviously, but just like, could you imagine, like, they have like a host meeting and they're all like in the conference room, and Barry Weiss just comes in and just goes, "You guys know everything you've been doing? Yeah, we're going to do it all differently." I just think that's funny. Plus, I think it'll help get me on CNN. So, because I want to go on Abby Phillips so bad. I want to do that more than I can describe in like words I can say online.
But financially, that would not be like, financially, they're gonna have to slow roll that, because they still have to, match advertisers. They still have to. I mean, they need
to dump talent at CNN. There's no reason. Look, for what they're making, for what they're bringing in, like an Anderson Cooper who's got name rec enough to pull in what, 10, 12 a year. I mean, look, they already dumped Cuomo, they dumped Lemon, they dumped a lot of their big names. It's going to be Anderson Cooper. It's going to be Brianna Keeler. It's going to be the one that's hot. What's her name? Kate Baldwin. Caitlin Collins has got to be making in the millions. She's a star. She's a host. She's the White House correspondent. They're going to have to start dumping some talent. And big name. I think Cooper's the first one to go.
I think he'll go on his own. I think a lot of these people, as time goes, they're probably already preparing for their exit.
Also, let's be clear. Anderson Cooper hosts like 9 shows on like 12 different networks. Like, he has 60 Minutes. He's got his head up Andy Cohen's ass. He's the heir to the Vanderbilt fortune. Like, he's okay.
Yeah, but he didn't renew his 60-minute contract because he was hoping to have a longer, have a better contract with CNN, which is even funnier.
probably didn't renew 60 Minutes because he was pissed off that Barry Weiss was the editor.
That too.
That's hilarious. That's like, I mean, on some level, just like,
Hey, you gotta laugh, right? We always say you gotta laugh.
Look,
I loved the photo of Barry Weiss and James Fishback from like a day ago. He posted like, it was great to see Barry Weiss last night. Like, and I was like, that's fucking great.
You know, look, I think that obviously Barry Weiss is incredibly pro-Israel. That's not, I don't think they really make a secret about it. But I think that overall, it'll be better. Because as much as I hate mainstream media, as much as I hate like CNN, they do serve a very valuable purpose to have correspondents on the ground all over the world. I mean, they have like, 4 people in the Middle East, and something happens in Asia, they can cut there. Like, we just don't. The biggest podcaster you watch, I don't care who it is, PBD, Breaking Points, Young Turks, Shapiro, Bonji. The Daily Wire doesn't have. Well, they might have somebody in the Middle East, but they don't have anybody in. Sorry about that. Okay.
Don't gaslight me.
They don't have an East Asian division. If there's a mudslide in Shanghai province, like, there is something to these big institutions that I think we can really value. The problem is they've just been run like such shit for so long.
Yeah.
They don't have a London branch. Something happens in Europe. And these things do happen all over the world. And it's incredibly important, for us to know if there's going to be like, a major trade issue coming up because there was a landslide in Punjab, India, and a whole village got taken out. Like, that's something that's going to affect the world that only the NBCs and the CNNs, the ABCs really have.
Plus, nobody really wants to explain to all the grandparents, the boomers, like how to use a phone and find podcasts. Like, we need CNN, we need Fox News for some of these people. Yeah. Like, I don't want to try to
get my mother to log into Rumble for months.
Saying.
Yeah, but like I said, I think overall it'll be better. By the way, $120 million for the Free Press. Are you kidding me? That's what Barry Weiss, $120 million. She got shortstop money for a blog. Like, that was out of control. But do it. Say it.
I just want to say Ben Shapiro's eyebrows are on fleek this week.
Yo, don't look. I'm a fan of Ben.
I saw a photo of somebody made Ben Shapiro a fucking chia pet with his eyebrows.
I died.
I saw that. I about laughed.
That was so funny.
And I was in the middle of like a briefing with a bunch of the Congress or something, and I was like, I had to stop. I had to like mute my mic.
So funny. His eyebrows are something else. Like, he's got a very like Eugene Levy sort of like Jim's dad happening.
I'm gonna need a yarmulke for both of those if they get any bigger.
I just imagine him walking around like Princess Leia now with like.
All right, guys. Well, last up tonight is the controversy and backlash over Mamdani hosting Mahmoud Khalil for dinner this month. For those of you who don't know, this is the pro-Palestinian protest movement guy, very high profile at Columbia University during the, Israel-Palestine conflict. What message does this send? How does this picture make you feel?
Well, it makes me think that his wife is the worst interior decorator I've ever seen.
This is the Last Supper. What year is this?
Holy shit! It looks like the tomb Liberace buried his dog in.
Are they in New York or are they in Pakistan? Like, really?
I don't mean to quote Chandler, but like, could that be any gayer? Like, look, leave it to two terrorists to have a terrorist over. And I don't know if you noticed, they were in a fork on that damn table. Guess they eat with their hands. But I guess he can have a good meal before he goes. Look at that chandelier. I bought that chandelier.
Yeah, there's like a what is it, like the ziggurat or whatever over the guy's shoulder too. There's like an Islam theme to it. You see that?
I don't know. What, the blue thing?
No, the structure. Look at the guys where you can see his back or whatever. Look up over his shoulder. Like
That's
you can
Zoran.
well, if whoever it is, like you can see those buildings or whatever. Those are Islamic buildings, 100%.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Wait, if I find out that they moved in and they were like, you know what we need? We need the worst Bob Ross painting on the wall. I'm gonna be so pissed.
Yeah. So in theme with everything else we've talked about tonight, I think it's worth noting and inappropriate. Does it legitimize an extremist? All kind of in the realm of our discussion tonight. But yeah, there's a lot going on. Looking Glass says we need to eradicate Islam from the Western world. Islam is not a religion. It's a corrupt, evil ideology. Living on a chessboard. We're sorry, Lake Erie Mama. I don't know why there's tech stuff we're always dealing with. The photo looks more like a cartoon than a photo. Yeah, interesting stuff, guys. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. This has been amazing. Lindsay, thanks for joining us for the first time. You guys are a hoot and a hit, and I always appreciate having laughs and incredible conversations with you. So thank you all so much for being here. Lindsay, I'll start with you. Is there anything you want to shout out where people can find you? I mentioned your handle earlier at Something Fierce. Obviously your coffee, where can people find it?
Yeah, most of all my social media, other than X, is through the business. So Coastal Coffee Company. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X. Coastalcoffeecompany.store is my website. You can look on my handle. I also have the links in my bio. But yeah, it's an e-commerce store. I do ship worldwide, so I do have that ability as well. And there's a lot of different stuff that you can look for. I even have coffee customization stuff. So if you're looking for like a French press or something, but also don't hesitate to reach out to me if you guys need anything as well. info@coastalcoffeecompany.store. You guys can shoot me an email. Let me know if you need anything, private labeling. If you guys have your own branding in your own companies, you guys want to offer like your own brand on coffee, and you guys can give it to your communities, however it may be. I mean, we handle a lot of scale stuff like that, and I have the ability to ship in bulk as well. So if you want a 20-pound bag of coffee, I can help you with that. I can fuel your addictions. So but
it's a great gift. As you mentioned, a lot of people like coffee, so coffee is always good for gifts.
Yeah, we do gift baskets. We do like closing gift baskets when people buy homes, Airbnbs. We do just a large variety of stuff. But yeah, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always here to help, or at least guide you guys in the right direction. If I don't know, I can get those answers. But yeah.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Jay, Madeline, you guys doing a show tomorrow? What's going? No? I mean,
well, I have a show Thursday, and I did it earlier in case you wanted me to come to your show. But I have David Buzzard, who's a Purple Heart recipient, veteran advocate in North Carolina. So doing a show for him, and if Madeline wants to join, she's welcome. Always. Anybody else too on the panel too. But he should be a really good guest. Somebody who's trying to do a lot for veterans, and just really looking forward to the conversation. So
I'll be on Fox that night, but I will come back.
Get it, girl.
I have to call you back, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Kevin Smith, The Loud Majority, every day.
Every day, 3 p.m. You can go to rumble.com/loudmajorityus, and I'll pop right up. Or you can go to rumble.com/LFATV. We stream literally all day long. There's 9 different hosts on the network. We stream podcasts literally back to back. It's like 24-hour news, except on Rumble where you can curse. So it's a good time. Come on down.
Remind me to like troll one day in the chat when Kevin's on. Just like everything I can. Like, Kevin, how do you feel about Turning Point? How do you feel about Erica? How
Love
do
her.
you feel about the Jews?
She's great. Love him. Love him. Nothing like some schmear.
That might be
No.
that might be like a fun project for me. All right. Good idea, Madeline.
Are you going to do it with your real name or are you going to create an alias?
Oh, that'd be even better. I'll have like my phone with an alias, and I'll have my name. And I'll just like go back and forth.
I'm just imagining her trolling my chat like Jim Carrey and Bruce Almighty. Like,
and she's just like laughing away.
Living it up.
Everyone, relax. She's awesome. She's, she's currently sitting in a throne. So
That's true. You do love Madeline's
throne. It looks like a horse, maybe.
Sure,
Madeline, your eye rolls are really picking up steam too. They're so great. They're so good in the clips. I love it. Not that they're clearly an eye roll, but it is like, it's funny. You guys
I got noticed today before DMing me about it. They're like, what's our problem? And I was like, no, it's okay.
Nothing.
I mean, I just always am like thinking like, hey,
Exactly. It really is the thing where you're like, is she rolling her eyes? Or is she just looking up? Is she just,
rolling her eyes at me 100%. Yeah.
Sometimes I have to like roll my eyes to like
keep it
shut. Other times I'm just like, all right.
It's admitted. Let's be honest here.
Well, I love it. We love it. We love you. I tease Kevin, but that's because he's a good lad. You're a good lad.
David Gregson in the chat from the UK.
That's right.
Shout out. Go Liverpool.
We love David Gregson. We love you all. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you guys so much. Everybody follow them, support them, show them all the love. Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon. Good night. Bye. All right. Bold chat, bold voices. Thank you so much. You guys were really so much fun in the chat. I love when that happens. We love interacting with you. It was lit. Sorry there was no intro bold lib song tonight. I don't know what happened there. I think my producer forgot to get that part going, but you know what? Things happen and you just got me right off the bat. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for everything. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Trangela. You guys are awesome. You guys really, really, really rock. I appreciate you having fun with us, laughs. As per usual, we try to get a mix of people on the panel, special guests, new people, and, having conversations, open dialogue, just sharing thoughts, because a lot of people are not doing that, are not willing to listen, or, closed-minded. So it's been really, really cool to connect with so many different people around issues that we're all experiencing and going through, and hearing about people's experiences and their thoughts, and just, really trying to bring each other together, hopefully, and do this dialogue in an open, respectful way. And it's been really lovely. And so you guys are such a big part of that every show, every stream. And I really appreciate that. I see you. I heart you. I appreciate you. And let's just keep having fun together and sharing the love. Ashley St. Clair is a bold lib, seemingly. Haven't seen Ashley in a long time, but we had some fun in New York City together. So I miss her and I hope she's doing well. I wish I lived on Angela Street. So fun fact, if you didn't know, this is a real street in Key West, which is one of my favorite places ever. I love Key West so much and I want to go there. It's so expensive right now, but I want to go. I love it there. If you haven't been to the Keys, especially Key West, you really should. It's so much fun. It's just such a relaxing, like lovely, chill vibe and pace there. So it's like the best vacation. Every time I go, I never want to leave. And they have a street right off of Duval, which is like the main sort of downtown area, called Angela Street. So I actually have a few pictures with Angela Street and they sell these there. So grabbed that. Yeah, many years ago now, but I do. That's the fun story behind that one. Guys, thank you so much. Next stream for Bold Voices will be on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll have another great panel, guests, and more great conversations, more fun, more laughs. and looking very forward to it. I hope you are as well. Have a beautiful week. Stay bold and beautiful. Thank you guys so much. Good night. I'll see you on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe over on YouTube. Thanks so much, guys. Good night.